Hey everyone. So today we are going to be doing Natasha's testimony.
Yay! For me, unlike Jericho, we have always been Christians, namesake Christians, but I've not really had an encounter with God till I was 24. I unfortunately did not have a very good start in life, come from a broken family, and it was just a bit of a difficult time. And unfortunately, that took me down a very bad path, I would say, and my past life did end up unfortunately leaving me with a couple of scars, and it did take me down a very bad path. And to say the least, I have done a lot of crazy things, a lot of wild things, the wrong lifestyle with drinking and all sorts of things, just going a bit too crazy with life. And the thing with that kind of a life, what had ended up happening with me is I used to run to that for a release, or to numb the emotional pain that I was feeling. And none of my relationships were good, like family relationships, my relationship with my mom, my relationship with my dad. They were very strained, unfortunately, in the beginning. And the relationship with God, I didn't have a relationship with God at that time, and I didn't really even believe in God, to be honest. For me, it was all about just me, myself, and to think about how you can get from point A to point B, and dealing with my daily emotions, right, and my daily life. That lifestyle ended up getting me even more into me digging my grave, like how Jericho in his testimony, he mentioned that he had a vision where he was on this hill, and when he was looking down at the earth, he saw people digging graves, just digging through the dirt, digging graves. And I believe that that's exactly what I was doing. I was just digging a grave for myself, for my life, with the kind of lifestyle I was living. And that lifestyle, unfortunately, it brought me temporary pleasure and happiness. For me, I didn't know any better, that's how I thought that life is supposed to be. I didn't consider life to have a purpose in any kind of way, And I remember things started changing for me. My mom has always been a very prayerful woman, and I thank God for that. She never gave up. No matter how hard life hit us, she never stopped praying, and she never stopped believing in God. And I thank God that she did, because it's because of her that I am here today, and I have a changed life, I had no peace, zero peace, and I didn't even know what peace was, I didn't even know what peace meant, to be honest. Like, I was just thinking that's just a imaginary thing, peace, right? So when I did hit about 23, 24, I remember starting to feel very different. I started to get curious, just all of a sudden starting to get very curious about like, what is this that my mom has that, keeps her so grounded and strong, and why does she keep trusting in God, I started asking questions, and I started getting very curious, because I had hit rock bottom, and I started going deeper and deeper into that pit. Mom told me, she's like, she could answer me certain questions, but then there's certain questions she was like, honestly, baby, I cannot answer these questions for you. You are going to have to ask God for yourself. And I was like, what do you mean ask God? How is he going to talk back to me? And she did tell me, you got to seek him, and you will find him. The Bible does say that as well. Seek and you will find. I did start doing my research, and I did start looking, and I started going online. I started looking to people as to why they believe in God, and why they go to God. And every person and every testimony that I would see for people who have converted from like a lifestyle like the one that I used to have, kind of gave that all up, the secular lifestyle, is because they found peace. And I wanted that, because I had none of it, And I really craved it. I craved stability. I craved peace. I craved happiness. And I wanted to get, like I was addicted to a lot of things, and it was just not a very good time in life, I feel like God wanted me through, like, He didn't do those things to me because God cannot do anything wrong, like anything evil, because He is only good.
Yeah.
And we got to remember, when there's good, there is evil, but not in the one person. It comes from two different forces. All the negative that was happening in my life was coming through the evil source. And I know that now, but I did not realize that back then. And I would say that I think that God didn't do it, but He allowed it to happen till I was 24, because He wanted me to stand as a testimony to a lot of people who are going through it right now, or who have been dealing with the same kind of a situation that I have. I've always been the kind of person who cannot learn from someone else's mistakes, but I need to make my own mistakes to really learn them, need to experience it. God knows that about me. So without whatever I had gone through in the past, I would not be the person that I am today, and be able to share and be able to, really stand here and sit here and tell you boldly about the things that I've experienced with God, right?
For sure.
I remember this one day where I was sitting and I played this praise and worship, and I was sitting in the room and I was just listening to praise and worship, and this was still when I had not really given myself to God. When I was sitting and listening to praise and worship, I was talking to God, and I was giving God an ultimatum, because I was at rock bottom and I was very depressed, and I was just wondering what was the purpose of this life, I did ask God. I said, if you are truly God, and if you are out there, and if my life matters, I need you to show me. I did give God an ultimatum, and I said, you either show me that you are God and that you are listening, or this is it for me, I just don't want to go on. I just don't want to live, don't want to go further. And I remember feeling very emotional, and I just wanted to cry, and I just wanted to say sorry, to God. I remember getting up and running into my room, and I remember that all I wanted to do was, I felt a weight down on my knees, and I felt like I needed to, like, just bow, I just hit the floor with my knees, and I just started, like, bawling. And I remember just asking God, like, to forgive me for just ignoring Him, and for the way that I have chose to live my life, And I just kept asking Him to forgive me, and the more that I did that, the more that I cried, I felt with every tear that I did cry, I felt God healing me more and more on the inside, and I felt peace in a way that I have never felt peace before like that in my life. And when I felt that peace, I knew that this was God, because I have never felt peace like the way I did that day in my entire life. And there was just no denying it, And I remember very clearly God whispered, like, actually not even just whispered, I heard him like an audible voice. I heard Him say, "Welcome back home, daughter," And that always gets me a bit emotional. Cool. But
I don't think I've heard that.
Really?
I don't think you told me that, no.
Yeah, but yes, that was a life-changing moment for me, and And ever since then, it was just, could not deny the fact that I had an encounter with God. And it was a spiritual awakening for me, my spiritual eyes were open, and it was like I was stepping out of the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of light. In The Chosen, this series that we watch, there's a line that she says that I remember saying before it came out in The Chosen, because it's so true. I was one way, and now I'm completely different. And everything that happened in between was Him. It was God, because I called out to Him, and everyone who has known me can testify to that, because I look different, I sound different, my speech is different, everything about me changed because I did have that born again experience. Ever since then, it was like a Saul to Paul conversion. My friend
Yeah.
Eric, I remember meeting him in church. When he told me, he said, when I saw you in church, when I saw you praising God and like the fact that you gave your life to God, he said that when a sinner like Natasha can do it,
Yeah.
I believe that anyone can, God can change anyone.
Yeah.
And that's a huge testament, to be honest,
Yeah,
because
for sure.
it is true. The journey with God and the walk of faith with Him, for me, has not been that difficult to do because I have seen
The other side.
the other side,
Yeah.
and then I have seen life with God, life without God and life with God. I just cannot deny the miracles that I've seen and I have experienced in life. I cannot deny the healing that I've experienced. I used to have seizures, and I've not had a single seizure since I'm 24, and I used to have a seizure every month almost, since I was like 11 years old, maybe younger even. I cannot deny the reunification of my family, the relationship that has been mended with my father, and now we love hanging out with each other. We're in each other's lives, and
we're at his place right now.
We're at his place right now, and it's just the relationship with my mom and I has been completely mended, and there's so much of joy and peace and happiness in our family that I believe that I would not have found if I did not give my life to God.
I like that testimony. I approve this testimony.
You approve this testimony.
Yeah, it's the Jericho stamp on it.
Yeah. I'm glad.
Hope you guys have taken some things, maybe you relate with them, maybe something is completely different. If it is, please let us know in the comments down below, and just let us know what you're going through, or if you have experienced something that's the same as us, just let us know. We'd love to see that.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we hope you guys have a great day. God bless, and we'll check you later.
Yeah. Bye.